Welcome to the episode to Speak on It, y'all, with your host Dom, Biv. We here talking about whatever was on our mind, speaking on things, speaking out about things. Y'all know what it is. Make sure that y'all let people know that we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Smash that like button. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go. Michigan, man, I want to start right there, man. I've been waiting to talk about that joint since it happened. Michigan, read your boy up. I know you've been talking about he going all year. I know that got to be a slap in the face.
Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm kind of torn. I'm not sure if he's the guy for the job, and it's again for me. I was just talking to one of the friends of the show. I was just talking to Esmond about it, man. For me, it's about development. He hasn't developed at the position most important in football, quarterback. For whatever reason, whether it's getting guys through the transfer portal, whether it's recruiting 4 and 5 star quarterbacks of different. He's gotten pocket passers, he's gotten dual threat, so he's gotten all the varieties. He just hasn't developed them. But when I see Texas let go of Tom Herman in 4 years, I'm like, maybe exercising a little patience isn't a bad thing. So I'm torn. I'm not sold on him, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I am glad that the university is exercising a little bit of patience with him. But I don't know. I don't know what he's got. I don't know what he's gonna do to change what's going on right now. Like every time you feel like it's a fix, like you bring in Gaddis and you think the offense is gonna be fixed. Still look like the same Michigan offense. So, like, I don't know what it's gonna take. I don't know if it's gonna take Harbaugh letting go of the reins or him being more involved, because he doesn't have the same passion as the guy from a few years ago. He doesn't look like the same guy that he thought that when he thought he was going to win a national championship, he was fired up. But now that he doesn't seem like the same guy. So I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm torn. I don't think he's the guy, but I am happy that they're exercising some patience with him.
So when you made a point, right? Like you said, immediately thought about Tom Herman, who legit just got fired after a good season.
He got fired off of what other guy. I guess what other teams were doing around, but I'm also hearing that it's a lot of politics involved with that Texas job. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, that's the hub. Texas is a hub. I mean, Texas is a hub. Still, he just got fired coming off of a bowl victory. You know what I mean? And I mean, you talk about it. We talk about like year 3, year 4. That is when your guys are actually starting to come into their own and start to play and things like that. So, like I said, to see Tom Herman getting fired, and then you like, man, you know Jim Harbaugh getting fired, but they give him a leash. Why? Maybe because he went to the University of Michigan. Maybe he's a Michigan guy. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's one of the reasons why. Yeah, I mean, and make no mistake about it, the dude is a winner. Winning percentage, he's a winner. But so was Tom Herman. And like we said, when we talk about certain programs, we associate them with certain things. Texas, you associate with them trying to compete, win championships.
And that's another thing. Like expectations. Texas is a program that's really only they won 2 national championships in 50 years. Yep. I think Michigan is in probably right around in the same boat. So like we got to kind of like curb expectations as well for these programs. Like we think because of the name that they're supposed to be doing things Brian Kelly has not been successful in terms of winning national championships at Notre Dame, but he's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't moved on from him. And it's not worked out in winning national championships, but they've gotten to the college football playoff. They haven't. I feel like he's done a good job there. I don't think Jim Harbaugh hasn't done as good of a job as Brian Kelly has, but I guess giving him a longer leash he might be able to make up for some of that time. But he's got to be able to develop a quarterback. That's where it begins.
Like I said, that's the biggest thing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing missing from his college resumes. Because when you start to think about, like, I did a mock draft and I'm looking at all the mock drafts. And I'm like, dang, he might have 2-3. He might have 2-3 first rounders. 2-3 first rounders going into the NFL. So he's churning NFL prospects. How he's churning them out.
Recruiting has not been a problem, and really, offensive line and defense, we've been flooding the NFL with those guys, but
they got a couple linebackers out there.
Yeah, they got some good. We are developing guys on the defensive side. They might not always live up to the billing in the NFL, but they at least get drafted.
Mm-hmm. So, like you said, he's doing his job as far as developing players. But like you said, that one
position
not develop. It's the one thing that you need in college football right now in order to compete. You need that guy. I mean, maybe years past you didn't need a quarterback. You didn't need the guy like the Bamas. They didn't need a quarterback. You just need a quarterback to manage the game. Now, if Bama had a quarterback to manage the game, they wouldn't be in game. They wouldn't
not at all.
They wouldn't compete. Just think about the team who probably had one of the best defenses in college. They had one of the best defenses in college. Notre Dame, their running game. No knock at Ian Book, but Ian Book's a game manager. He's not a takeover type guy. We see what happened when he goes up against those big. What happened when he went up against those big time players, those big time quarterbacks. Couldn't compete. Couldn't keep up. You can't have that in today's game. And like you said, Jim Harbaugh, he needs that type of player, or at least to learn to develop that type of player. The thing I think about with Jim Harbaugh is, I think people say like he is to me he's a John Gruden type. And what I mean by that is that I don't think John Gruden could coach in college either. Because John Gruden is a all-in, win right now type of energy type of guy. I'm gonna give you my full enthusiasm, my full energy to try to win a championship right now. I ain't got time to be developing people for 4 or 5 years. I mean, like I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good teacher, but he's a motivator. I think Jim Harbaugh is better suited for the NFL. I think he is a motivator in that way, where he's going to try to get the most out of you in that moment. And then, okay, I've given my all. Now I can move on to something else. You know what I mean? So that's why I think Jim Harbaugh is. But here's another thing I want to throw out there real quick is why I was like, dang, why is he retained? And again, I go back to maybe because he went to Michigan. He won in 4 in bowl games. 1 in 4. I think we seen somebody else that somebody who just got fired, and we were talking about. I'm like, dang, boy, 5-0 in bowl games, but he got fired. He 5-0 in bowl games, but it's just an expectation. And then when I think about his record against Ohio State, Michigan State, Minnesota, that's what you're known for. Like that's why they keep you around. Maybe again because the expectation isn't to win championships at Michigan all the time. But I do expect you to beat Ohio State, Michigan State, Minnesota, and you can't do that. So
yeah, he struggles against rivals. He struggles against top 25 teams. So he's got to turn it around. I'm not sure how much more of a leash they're gonna give him though.
Yeah, I heard he on the short leash. So whatever that means, you know what I mean? Like I said, does that mean that he has to win one game against Ohio State?
He
And
better do that. He better do that within the next couple of years at least.
this year, I think this is the perfect year. Again, I don't I don't think Ohio State has somebody coming up behind Justin Fields. I think they'll struggle after Justin Fields leaves for this year. So we'll see.
We'll
Maybe
see.
this is his year. Maybe this is his year. We're gonna rewind, right? Because we ain't talk, like you said, we ain't talk baseball. Something that happened. I talked to you about it in the chat and expressed my displeasure. We talk about Francisco Lindor, man, on the move. On the move with the Mets. Man. I forget their owner name, Cohen. He coming to put his fingerprint on this team. Coming to put his fingerprint on this team, get one of the best shortstops in the game. Young shortstop in the game to add to a rotation that's already nasty. And they just got another pitcher that I'm gonna let you talk on. You know what I mean? But they also in talks to get Chris Bryant. I ain't got nothing else to say, man. Because listen, with you being a National League East person, I'm from the National League East as well. At least your team is actually, and I can't say my team isn't improving. But it's not at the rate where I'm looking at the Mets and saying the way they're improving. So that's a fandom in me. So, but I'm gonna let you talk about how your thoughts on it, because again, you're a Braves fan, and that's directly impacting you as well.
You know, as a Braves fan, I'm excited because now I feel like the National League East is getting that much better, and competition it should bring out the best in you. And we just got the MVP, Freddie Freeman, Acuna, one of the top outfielders, Ozzie Albies. Like I feel like we're in a good position to compete. So if we can win this division, I feel like we can be one of the best teams in baseball. So I'm excited about it. I know you're not as excited as I am because you don't feel like your team can compete, but I feel like my team can compete. So I'm good. I'm like, man, this make it steep, but I'm like, man, this gonna show where we are and where this team is. Because to me, man, adding Carlos Carrasco is just as big as adding Francisco Lindor, man, because you added just another arm to that rotation. So the Mets is gonna be they're gonna be fun to watch. Them and the Padres, boy, oh boy. Whew.
They doing their things. Them Padres, Dodgers, you know what I mean? In the East, I mean not in the East, but just in the National League. We don't know what the schedule stuff's gonna look like, but like you said, Marlins, I think they get better. Just building off of what they've done. You got Washington, who's actually also, I think Washington has made a move as well. You know what I mean, and they're getting healthy. And we talked about it on the show with the Phillies. I think that the Phillies lineup is still nasty. Just the rotation, not the rotation, but their day-to-day lineup. That's a nasty lineup. You bring back JT Realmuto, I think that we can compete. Like even if I'm looking at the day-to-day lineups with y'all lineups, with the Mets lineups, I'm still gonna take the Phillies lineup just in name alone. You know what I mean? Just in name alone.
If y'all sign y'all guys,
if we sign JT back, we sign DD back. It's a good lineup. It's a solid
lineup if you sign them back. Now, if you don't sign those two back,
that's why I get frustrated. I'm like,
it's gonna be,
I mean, We got
basement dwelling.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. We can't make no pieces, and we can't make no moves. Yeah, like you said, it could definitely be basement dwelling. The thing that I keep going back to, man, is they aren't done. They trying to get Chris Bryant.
And the Mets have a really good farm system. So they're going to have pieces to move. So if the Cubs are in sell mode, which is at this point I feel like they are, when you move Darvish, that kind of was the telltale sign. And so when you didn't allow Chris Bryant to walk, it was like, nah, we're going to resign. We're gonna put you on papers. So that way we can still own your rights. So we can move you. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Bryant's moved within the next couple of weeks and Javi Baez is moved within the next couple of weeks. Because I'm pretty sure this is what going into the second week of January. Yeah. So spring training is start in in a few weeks. Spring training to start.
Mm-hmm.
You know, baseball pitchers and catchers will be reported probably at the beginning of February. So
P. Alonso, Francisco, and they got Chris Bryant. With that rotation, like you said, game's gonna be exciting. I just hope we're on the other side of some of those dubs.
Yeah,
I think the Mets gonna be good this year. I think the Mets they've been climbing. You know what I mean?
they've been getting better and better and better.
Build something. So I think that this year, this is the year that they actually try to get back into that playoff spot. And I don't know if they're gonna have 8 teams again this year, or whatnot. But I think the Mets can be one of those teams. So
I fully expect it.
I hope not, but
if they don't make the playoffs, that's a disappointment.
They're doing their thing though. Like you said, the Mets doing their thing. They are definitely doing their thing. Let's get into some of these playoff talks. We got 3 games on tap tonight. We got the Bills, Colts. We got Seahawks, Rams, and we got the Bucks football team tonight. Out of those 3 teams, where do you see or can you see possible upset?
I know you're gonna hate me for this.
No, I'm not, because it's probably the same one.
For me, it's the Colts over the Bills. I just think, as much as I don't like Phillip Rivers, he's gonna come to play. He still has a lot to prove. And with Josh Allen and it being a little wet behind the ears, you know what I mean? He ain't been here yet. So I think that could play a role in it. As much as everybody is trying to convince me that the football team has a shot against the Bucks, I don't care about the Bucks right now, because 12 is going to be 12 when 12 needs to be 12.
It's playoff time. Tom Brady.
And if Bruce Arians game plan ain't working, Gronk is gonna be a Gronk game. I guarantee it. If they're not able to push the ball down the field, it's gonna turn into a Gronk game to make sure that they win. So I have full faith in Tampa. So for me, my question mark is the Bills. So I'm gonna go with Colts.
So I agree with you. I'm with you. Out of today's games, it's the Bills Colts game. Why? Because I've been high on the Colts as well. I think that defense is legit. I think they have a quarterback that is who's been there. They have a wide receiver also who's been there. That offensive line is still a nasty offensive line. They have a two-headed monster in that running game. So I think the Bills do win the game. But I would not be shocked if the Colts won the game, because the Colts are a legit team. They're 11 or 10-win team, 11-win team. So they aren't they aren't slouches in
No,
the
they're
game.
no slouch at all. And in a couple of those games, they most definitely could have won. I felt like they should have definitely beat the Steelers. They had that game all wrapped up, but they let it slip away. So they could have definitely won 13 games this year. You know, so
But I'm gonna tell you
they're
this:
definitely legit.
this is the game that the Bills can't lose because there's too much momentum for them. There's too much momentum. Like this game, this is the game you can't lose. You've been there for the past couple. You've been there last year. You got a taste of playoffs. You got to take that next step. You have to take that next step. Now, under normal circumstances, before the year before, you will have a bye week, which means you will automatically be catapulted into the second round. But this year being different, you got to go out there and you got to go earn it. You got to go play. And I think that they'll be up for the task. That's a 12 o'clock. That's a 12 o'clock game, or that's a 1 o'clock game. But I'm with you. I think that could be an upset. Yeah, I mean, because I think the Bills would be heavily favored. Also, I don't think that the Rams Seahawks game is. I think that's a push. I don't think that the Seahawks should be favored in that game. I don't think the Rams should be favored in that game. That's a divisional game this year. This is the third time they'll play each other this year, and the Rams defense is legit. Like that Rams defense is legit. We've seen them rattle Russ. We've seen them. So, that's why I don't think that I wouldn't pick that game because I legit think that the Rams legit have a chance to win that game. And like I said, it's a division game, so it's tricky. So,
well, I've been asked the question. Somebody asked me to give some backstory on why I don't bang with Phillip Rivers. I've never been a fan of Phillip Rivers. One, even at NC State, I wasn't that impressed with him. I thought his throwing motion was funky, but it worked for him. You know what I mean? But I also thought he was Tony Romo-esque. When the game was the biggest and you needed him the most, he was gonna find a way to lose it for you. And you just can't trust a guy like that. He's gonna put up numbers. He can make all the throws just like Tony Romo. I don't think he's trash, but when you want to trust him, he might let you down more times than not. So, and I know there's been some games where, like, I think was it against the Colts, man, where he gutted it out, man, like he played with like a broken leg or something, like man, dude's tough, like dude's tough, man, dude can, like, again, he can make all the throws, he can do it all. I just don't trust him when I need him the most. So yeah, he cost me some money a couple times. Maybe that's it.
Phillip older, right? He older. He has a gunslinger's mentality at times to me, where he can be a little bit Brett Favre-ish, where he will throw some picks, throw some passes. You like, why did you throw that? Yeah, I mean, he had another time where he throw passes. You like, man, that was an NFL, that was a big time throw. He completes like 70% of his passes like almost every year, stuff like that. So he's an accurate passer. So I banged with Phillip, but I do understand your trepidation when we talk about Phillip Rivers. Like he does have the propensity to let you down at times. I mean, in big moments.
Like he used to, like I said, this is the first time in a long time, in my opinion, that he's had a legit team around him. I'll give him that. They've been rebuilding and recycling coaches, which probably led to some of the bad things. But I remember the Chargers getting off to fast starts and then falling off at the end of the year, or getting off to a slow start and then turning it up at the end of the year, but then still falling short. So, like, he's been hot and cold, and I just, like, the inconsistency sometimes for me is not there.
Let's think about 2 years ago, right? They was rolling hot. They also came up against another quarterback that was rolling hot in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson. He was 7-1. They stifled him, right? I'm like, all right, this is maybe Phillip Rivers' year. This could be Phillip Rivers' year. Like, they rolling. I think they was 12-4. I think they edged out the Chiefs for that division. I think they was like the number 3 seed or number 2 seed or something. They had to be the number 3 seed or something like that. Um, then the next year they went. I mean, the next week they went up against the Patriots and got smacked. And I'm like, it's always a letdown with him. It's always a letdown. They come in rolling, they come in hot, they have the record, they have the team, they have the momentum. And then some way somehow they find a way to mess it up or to lose it. Philip Rivers should at least played in at least one Super Bowl. He should have at least played in one Super Bowl.
It's his, and I say this. He was in the AFC playing against Tom and Peyton for majority of his entire career. I'll give him that. I understand it. I understand it. It was hard getting past Tom and Peyton, But every now and again, you got to make when you're supposed to be that guy, you got to make that leap at least once.
And I agree with you. At least
once. When given opportunity, as many opportunities as he has been given, at least once get over that hump. It's not like he wasn't making the playoffs. Like Matt Stafford, he wasn't making the playoffs. He's not getting the opportunities. Like Philip Rivers was making the playoffs, and he wasn't taking full advantage of those opportunities. So,
let me ask you this question. All right, so before we make some picks and stuff like that, give me some keys to. So if the Colts are going to beat the Bills, what is the expert? What's the key? What is the key? What do you think that needs to happen for that to happen, and vice versa?
For me, if the Colts win this game, the Colts are going to have to both run the football effectively and get pressure on Josh Allen. You've got to create pressure on Josh Allen, get him off his spots, make sure that you can corral him as well once he gets out of the pocket. Stopping that run game, getting the Colts run game going. Jonathan Taylor has been on a tear. So that run game get going, it takes pressure off Phillip, and it keeps Josh Allen on the sideline and Stephon Diggs on the sideline, like Cole Beasley on the sideline. So, I feel like the Colts, that's how the Colts win. And the Bills, let their MVP just shine. Let Josh Allen be Josh Allen. Don't do nothing to that game plan. And again, their defense has been coming along, and I just feel like the Colts have to run the football because, again, I don't trust Phillip Rivers, and the Bills' defense is opportunistic. That could be the difference in the game. I don't trust Phillip Rivers. Pound that football. They said it to me, 27 a day up in Buffalo. So, yeah, pound the football. So,
I agree with you. My take on it, what I think keys is in order for the Colts to win, they have to somehow, some way, take away not one, but both Josh Allen's weapons. You have to find a way to take both of them out, and nobody has been able to take either one of them away all season. Another thing to note is, I'll talk about that when we get to the Bills, but in order for the Colts to win, they have to take away both of his weapons, and like you said, one way to do that is time of possession. Run the ball, play mistake-free football, play solid defense, get to Josh Allen. Because if you don't do that, I don't think you have big enough names in the secondary to stop them. So it has to be a complete team game on defense. Offensively, with the Bills, like you said, just be you. Just do what you've been doing all season. You are the hottest team in football right now. You are the quarterback that's playing the best football right now. And that defense is coming along. Just do your thing, like you said. Don't just treat it like another game. I know it's a playoff game, but treat it like any other game that you've treated it all year. Don't change anything. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Be yourself. Go out there, dominate like you've been dominating all year. That's what I would say about them. This one I would say about the Bills as well. They have an All-Pro and Cole Beasley. Shout out to my man Cole Beasley, who became an All-Pro this year. They got an All-Pro Stephon Diggs. They got an All-Pro wide receiver, All-Pro quarterback, MVP candidate Josh Allen. They also got I can't even think of the name now. Who actually was their other outside wide receiver. His name played for the Cardinals. Played for Speedster. Can't think of his name now. But they got him back. They also added Kenny Stills to the team. Gabriel Davis, like that's gonna be a tough team to compete with, especially adding Kenny Stills and getting John Brown. Getting John Brown back, who's been in and out of the lineup this year. Getting John Brown back. Bill's gonna be tough this year. Bill's gonna be tough. That's my pick. I've been riding with him, but I think that just being themselves is what's gonna get them going. All right, let's go to the 3:00 game. And by the way, again, I'm taking the Bills to win that game.
I'm picking the Colts. If DeForest Buckner plays, I'm taking the Colts. I got a feeling he's gonna show up big. It's gonna be a DeForest Buckner game.
Listen, he one person that scared me. He is one person that scared me. So I'm with you. All right, keys to Rams, Seahawks. Keys to that game.
I'm torn. I'm torn because I want to say the X factor is Jamal Adams. That's what I want to say. I want to say that because the way he plays in the box can affect what the Rams do best, which is run the football. And so I think that's the biggest factor. I think that's the biggest factor in the game. I think Jamal Adams' ability to create havoc, whether it be create negative plays in the backfield, creating a bad throw, something. I think Jamal Adams is just going to take over this game today and just dominate on defense. Because to me, playoffs, offenses are going to be the offenses, but it's going to come down to a defensive play that's going to make it. And I think big-time players make big-time plays. And I think Jamal Adams is probably going to have the biggest opportunity because Aaron Donald is going against Russ. I don't think Russ is going to make a mistake.
I think the X factor for me for the Seahawks is DK Metcalf. He's the X factor. He will get shadowed all game. He will get shadowed all game by Jalen Ramsey.
See, I'm with you, but this is when Tyler Lockett will have or a big game or like, you know what I mean? So like DK, all he needs is one big catch. That's it. If he get one big catch, he had a good day with that guy on it. One big catch, one big first down, one big play. That's all it takes. And he's done his job for the day. It's gonna be the other guys. It's gonna be the other guys that's gonna come into play. That game there, I think it's gonna be about Seattle's defense, and if they can continue to play the way they've been playing for the last few weeks.
The reason I say DK, because Troy Hill's not no slouch on the other side as well, who's going to be covering Tyler Lockett. I think they'll double Tyler Lockett. They'll roll a safety over there as well. But DK's going to. I think DK's have a lot of one-on-ones, and like you said, going up against that guy who modern day Deion Sanders right now. So like he's gonna take away half the field. I just seen what he did to DeAndre Hopkins last week, I was like, man, it's just crazy what he's doing to DeAndre Hopkins right now. Like It's crazy. And you talk about a physical freak. You say DK Metcalf is a physical freak at the wide receiver position. You talk about a
Absolutely.
physical freak at the corner position. It's that guy. 6'2", 4'4", 4'3", whatever he run. Physical, can play on, can play bump, can play all of it. The physical freak right there. Who wins that matchup to me is DK Metcalf needs to be win a couple of those matchups because I think, like you said, with Aaron Donald, they're getting Michael Brockers back. They're gonna have Leonard Floyd. The Rams defense is going to be clicking out on all cylinders. They're getting all their guys back. That's going to be a tough day for Russ and that running game and that passing game. So I think that playmakers need to learn how to step up and make plays, and that's why I say DK Metcalf.
It's a big moment for him. You know, he had a big year. He had a kind of a breakout year. You know, playoff experience. Like he's got to come with it. This is a huge challenge for him. This is huge for him, and I believe if Seattle can get past this test, they can be the team to make that run. I do. That team is one team with that coach and that quarterback. If they have to go in the Lambeau, I don't think they're worried about it.
I'm not scared. I'm not worried about it at all. That's one of the teams where I don't care where they play. They don't care where they play.
Yeah.
They're coming East Coast, staying over there. They don't give a goddamn. Midwest, they don't care.
I know that Tom Brady is in the NFC too, but I'm not trusting that arm and Lambeau Field.
Lambeau, right, 43-year-old arm. I gotta see it. I have to see it.
I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I have to see it. So what's on the other side, flip side? What's your key to the Rams actually winning that game?
Is Jared Goff healthy? Is he healthy?
So Jared Goff is playing.
He playing, right?
Yep.
That's it. He's got to play mistake-free football. That's it. He cannot turn the ball over. He can't turn the ball over. That defense is gonna give you everything that it's got. You can't turn the ball over.
Here's the crazy thing, right? I think my key is the other guy. Other quarterback. Wolford, whatever his name is. Because he's mobile. Because, like you said, Jared Goff has 2 broken thumbs. He just came up, and now he's going to play in a playoff game? And you think he's going to be effective? Why not get the guy in there who's healthy, who actually just had a big game to get you into the playoffs? And who is mobile? I think that's where they should go. They should go with that quarterback. So I it's kind of sort of along the lines with what you said with Jared Goff. And I do. I think it's Jared Goff, but I think Jared Goff should have played. I think the other guy should play.
I don't know. It's one of those situations where Jared Goff, you know, quarterbacked you to a Super Bowl berth. So
I got you.
I
got 2 broken thumbs though.
I mean, he doesn't have to throw the ball downfield much anyway. They pretty much run the football and throw screens here and there, 5-6 yards downfield. So if he can make those throws and he can be effective, go with him. But the moment that he's not effective, you got to go with the other guy.
Yeah. All right, nightcap. Washington football team, getting a lot of people loving them right now. Chase Young, they got that front four that is nasty. You know what I mean? With Tampa Tom. Against Tampa Tom. Oh. I'm picking in the Seahawks game. I'm picking the Rams to win that game.
I've been going back and forth with that game. I really have. Give me Seattle.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to pick against Jalen and Aaron Donald, man. It really is. This is that time of the year where defenses start to leave their marks on games. I just don't trust the quarterback play from the Rams against Seattle defense that's been playing really good football lately.
Understandable. Listen, understandable. I want to pick my man. I want to pick Dangerous. I want to pick Dangerous. Think, man, but what we said, with AD99 chasing him down, and with Jalen taking away his top guy, it's gonna be tough. And they got a full squad. So yeah,
it's gonna be a tough test, man. Tough test.
Nightcap, like Tampa Tom, Washington football team. To me, I'm gonna give my key first for the Washington football team. The only way they have a legit shot in this game for them two edge rushers to have the best games of their lives. And I don't give a goddamn what. And I'm not saying that's the only way. Yes, it is the only way because Alex Smith can turn back into Kansas City. Alex Smith. I still think that Tom Brady playing at a high level, but in order for them to beat him, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, they got to have the games of their lives. They got to have Montez Sweat got to have like a 5-sack game.
That's how everybody's beating Tom Brady. Whether it was the Giants in the Super Bowl, whether it was Rex Ryan and his Jets team, whether it was the Ravens. When you beat Tom Brady in the playoffs, it's with a pass rush. Denver, when Peyton had him, Denver, like even when he was in Indy, with Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, like it's always been pass rushing. This is the formula. He's facing his kryptonite. He's facing his kryptonite. I just think that he's got a defense now that's been ridiculed because they have not been playing well, and they're going against a team that's not really that good offensively. So they're going to be able to make enough. I think they make enough plays to keep them in it, and then Tom wins it late with a late drive.
I think I'm picking the Bucks. I'm picking the Bucks. So I just want to get that out.
Yeah, I'm picking the Bucks.
I think that this is gonna get ugly. I just think this is gonna get ugly. There's too many weapons on that Tampa team, man. And Anthony, who is becoming Tom Brady's safety valve? And it's Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown becomes his safety valve. Antonio Brown is starting to feel like Antonio Brown again. He also got a big target in Rob Gronkowski, who's starting to they're starting to click. I don't care about what happened in the regular season. They're in the postseason now, where that guy got 6 rings, and he been to 3 other ones, and he's more motivated more than ever. I think it's gonna get ugly, man. I think it's gonna get ugly.
I'm still not sold. I'm just picking Tampa because of the team that they're playing. That's it. I know a lot of people are saying, man, maybe they found it. I'm not convinced. The Falcons could have beat them both these times. These last 2 games that they played against the Falcons. The Falcons could have won both those games. So I'm not convinced yet that they found it, but I think Tom can make enough plays when he needs to, and Washington is not going to be able to score enough points.
That's why I think it's going to get ugly. That is like that defense is a good test. Yeah, I mean, but it's a perfect test to go up against to move forward. Perfect test. I don't think he's going to see another defense in the. I'm lying because he can play. I'm lying. He can play the Saints and he can play the Rams. I don't think you'll see another front seven like this in the playoffs.
I don't. For me, it's not about the pass rush. After this is going to be about making the correct adjustments when they need to, depending on where they got to go, because they're on the road. They're on the road the entire playoffs. Like until the Super Bowl, unless they get there, they're on the road the entire playoffs.
Yeah, tough task.
Depending on where they go, like I feel like they're too good of a team to lose to the Washington football team.
I agree.
Depending on where they go next week, I might pick them. I might not pick them.
Agree with you. Before we move on to the Sunday night games, right? I had this question because we talked about it. I think Wednesday. We're talking about the most attractive head coaching jobs, and one that stood out to me is the team you just talked about, the Falcons. I'm like, man, that could be an attractive job. It could legit be an attractive job. They have the number 4 overall pick. They got an all-pro wide receiver, Calvin Ridley. They got some pieces on defense. Now, depending on what you do with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones,
I think the GM, to me, the GM job is more intriguing than the coaching job. Because the coaching job is all dependent on what the GM does. Like, it's a good coaching job if you're going to move Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and bring in some pieces. But if you get ready to not move them, I don't want that job. I don't want to coach Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. We've seen this song and dance. We've seen it. It had its opportunity. It was up 28-3. And that window closed right after that. It was gone just that fast. They'll never get back. They'll never get back. Them two together will never get back. So you move on. But if you're talking about retaining them, no. I don't want that job. Again, I think the GM job is more attractive because you don't. I would love to see what Matt Ryan's value is on the market right now.
I think like a third rounder, but I also think that I also think he still has value. I also think that he can still go win or compete.
Absolutely.
With
so many teams that are a quarterback away. To me, I know they went 7-9, but Bill Belichick just showed you he's a quarterback away.
Yes,
he's still a quarterback away. We just showed it.
We talk about this thing extensively, right, on the show. Who Bill Belichick number 1 wide receiver? Hell if I know. Number 2 wide receiver.
If I don't know the number 1, I definitely ain't gonna know number 2.
Tight ends?
I don't know. I only know Sony Michel because he was really good in college.
I would say, like, who's that best running back? Cam Newton? Like, I don't know. Who was the best player on defense?
They went 7-9. Like, that's not great. But you think, no Tom Brady, no offseason OTAs, no real training camp for Cam to get any type of rhythm with his receivers or really get into the offense. You get all of those guys missing on COVID, and you have injuries as well on the defense, and you still won 7 games. Yeah, you're a quarterback. You're a quarterback away from getting back into the contention.
Should have won like 3 games. They should have won 3 games. They could have beat the Chiefs. They could have beat they should have beat the Seahawks. And let's be real, I know I'm high on my guys, but they was driving to beat the Bills as well. Could have won. They could have won several games. They could be 10-6 right now.
They could have definitely made the playoffs.
So, and like you said, that is with no time. 8 of his guys opting out on defense. Like, he just churns out corners, and he about to get rid of probably a top 5 corner, and you know what's gonna be crazy? It ain't gonna matter. He about to get rid of Stephon Gilmore, and it ain't gonna matter.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Because he's that guy. Bill is that guy. This was Bill's best coaching job. And I know he got 6 rings. This was his best coaching job. Because, like you said, we've seen the greatness of Bill Belichick not having Tom Brady and being in almost every game. Being in almost every game. We're back away. And like you said, Matt, come be on the other side of history. Come be on the other side. And bring that other guy with you as well.
My question is, I wonder if he want Jimmy G back.
And he'd do that thing in a heartbeat. I think he'd do it in a heartbeat. I think he would.
I wonder if he'll take you back. Well, I'm gonna ask Tamon. I'm gonna ask Tamon if he want to let him go.
Man, Tamon ain't letting Jimmy go, man. Unless Tamon threw him, he bleed 49ers, man. So and listen, unless he getting something else, unless he getting something back, like I think he'll do it. He might do a trade off with Jimmy for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, he might.
You say, listen, you get Matt Stafford. If you say you can bring Matt Stafford to the 49ers and trade Jimmy G back to the Patriots, I think he might do that trade off.
He might be down for it.
He might do that trade. That's what Bill Belichick need to do. They need to be looking at Matt Stafford.
He needs to be. I was gonna say one of the Mats. One of the Mats, definitely one of the Mats.
Oh man, shoot. I'm looking at the Rams right now. Jalen Ramsey will shadow DK Metcalf. Woo. Ooh. That's gonna be a chess match.
He better. That's why you get paid that money.
That's gonna be a chess match. I guess I'll talk college after we do these other things real quick. Sunday's games. 1 o'clock game, big game, year game. Keys, man. What's the key?
It's only one key to this game, and it's what kind of game plan is Greg Roman going to call? What is he going to call? If he calls the plays the way he should, we should win this game. We have the defense where we can bang on Derrick Henry, and we have the guys on the outside that can play one-on-one against Davis and Brown. So I feel like we're in a good position, but it's going to come down to Greg Roman and if he's going to keep with the run game plan or if he want to go out there and all of a sudden turn into the air raid.
Here's what I think. My game plan for the Ravens, LaMarvelous. He has to be that. He has to be that. People keep talking about you and your playoff record because you're a black quarterback. Let's be 100%. You're a black quarterback who came in. They ain't going to talk about Baker. Like he said, man, I came in the same draft. He didn't say this, but he like, other quarterbacks out there they ain't got a win either. They've been here longer than me. I've also been here 3 years. It's my 3rd season. I've been here 3 times. Baker Mayfield first year. Josh Allen.
Yeah, you can bring up the playoff record, but it's 0-2. It's not like it's 0-9. It's 0-2. And I mean, I still believe that play calling cost them both of them. Should have ran the ball down the Chargers 2 years ago. Didn't. And should have ran the ball down on Tennessee's third last year. So whatever.
Last year, I think I talked to you about, but there was two plays that were stupid that cost y'all the game, and they both was fourth. They both were 4th-and-1 calls. Normally, 4th-and-1 calls, QB sneaks, quarterback gets down, leverage, picks up those games. Why do you have Lamar Jackson running high? If you're gonna have him running high, then have him come out of shotgun where he can see and pick holes and use his speed. So yeah, coaching LaMarvelous. Another thing I will say, what y'all should do is, I know Marlon Humphreys doesn't normally do this, but I would have him shadow. He would shadow AJ Brown all game. That's what he would do. I would have him shadow AJ Brown all game. I would have Jimmy Smith. I think Jimmy Smith's playing, right? I think he's playing.
I'm not sure.
But Jimmy Smith playing, he would also shadow. Corey Davis. Then you allow Marcus Peters to be Marcus Peters, which is a jumper. That's what you allow him to be. Basically, be a free safety back there where he'll roam and he'll make plays. Instead of him, now when he gets beat, it's not like a big time. He's not giving up a touchdown when he get beat. Because now he's playing inside, he's a roamer, and I'm allowing him to be at his best. And if he get beat, he has help. He's not on the outside, he has help. That's what I would do.
Yeah, defensively, I think because of the way Marlon, because he tackles so well, he can support the run, which means I really don't care where he line up at. For me, because he's just gonna do it. He's gonna do his job, and I know I like Davis and I like Brown, but we gotta make sure we tackle Derrick Henry. I feel like Marcus Peters is gonna be fine. We just gotta make sure we tackle.
Is he gonna be fine if he covering AJ Brown?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Okay.
He'll be fine. He's I don't care who he covered, he's gonna give up a big play.
That's why he could be
covered Juju Smith, the tight end. He's gonna give up a big play. That's just who Marcus Peters is. He's gonna give up a big play. The only thing is it can't be multiple. But he's gonna give up one because that's just the way he plays. Corner. That's the way he plays corner. So he's gonna give up a big play. But when it starts snowballing, then that's when I'll be like, all right, man. Marlon might have to shadow this guy, but majority of the time we don't call it. We let them stay on their sides. So,
I got 3 solid things to like.
Yeah, man. We got to tackle. We got to bang Derrick Henry. We cannot let him get into the fourth quarter where he's finishing runs and falling forward. He's got to be falling backwards come fourth quarter. Because he took a pounding. You've got to pound him every chance you get. We dogpiling, we jumping on him. Everybody got to touch him. You got to bang him up.
Derrick Henry going backwards, man. That's a big feat. That's a big ass.
You got to bang that big body, man. You can't, because if he's in the fourth quarter when he start falling forward, it's because the guys on the defense, they're tired. And he's still ready to go. He's still I want more. Feed me, see more. Feed me. Feed me, see more. Feed me. And if you can't continue, like I'm not saying he got to fall backward on every play, but I need plays where he's about just continuing body blues. You know, it's a boxing match, man. You can't be trying to go for the home run. Can't be going for the knockout blow. Stop throwing haymakers. Just beat that body up and wear him down, man.
This is what I would say. I agree with you. Before we move forward, I get to my key with the tech tight. This is what I'll say to you. I would say Patrick Queen. First chance you get, make him feel you. But I would tell him, first chance you get, Patrick Queen, that's your assignment. We talk about shadow, Patrick Queen. That's just you shadowing him all game. First chance you get, you need to smack the heck out of it.
Man, you got to make me feel
Or
you.
he gonna
You
smack the heck out of
can't
you.
like you can't be letting him get his confidence going. You can't let him get his confidence
come
going.
out.
That's when that stiff arm come out. That's when the afterburners all of a sudden he can throw it in the third and fourth gear. And you're like, man, when did he get that speed? Like, goodness gracious. So I can go right into my keys for Tennessee because he is my key. For Tennessee, it's him. I'm not worried about Ryan Tannehill and the passing game. If Ryan Tannehill has to throw the ball 50 times, we win. We win. We're winning the game if Ryan Tannehill is the big guy. And the only way we can neutralize him, in my opinion, is to make sure that we are doing what they want to do, what we do best offensively, which is run the football.
I agree with you. There is no key. There is no other key on Tennessee. There's no other key. It's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the key because he can keep Russell. He can keep Russ on the sideline. Lamar. Yeah, he can keep Lamar on the sideline, and he can wear down the defense, which is what he did to y'all last year.
Last year and the last time we played him, he had like I think it was like a 45-yard walk off in overtime. Like,
yeah, he's the guy.
Like he's the guy.
MVP.
Like, has anybody seen Earl Thomas since he got stiff arm?
Nah, bro, I ain't listening. Yo, he legit. I seen something the other day. They said, "Yo, how did Derrick Henry make Earl Thomas a blocker? He turned Earl Thomas into a blocker for him."
Remember on Madden, you used to put your hand on the back.
Go over there.
Like, but yeah, like all of a sudden, like he made Earl Thomas. He put Earl Thomas out of the league. Like that was the beginning of the snowball effect. It was like, man, maybe Earl Thomas, maybe Seattle was up to something. They didn't want to give him that bread. Like maybe so. I don't know. But
Thomas didn't listen. Thomas didn't have a bunch of BS happen after that, man. His wife out here talking crazy to him. You better get out of here before I get Derrick Henry on you. Everything happened. Everything snowballed from there, man.
Yeah, man. He was got into some trouble, man. But
hey, Derrick.
Of course, I'm picking the Ravens.
Of course, it's only right. I got listen. Russ, one of my favorite players. I think he should have been the number. I keep saying Russ. Lamar, one of my favorite players. I think he should have been the number one pick. In the draft, and I ain't proving it. So I got to ride with my guy. Bears, Saints. Listen, we both been on wax saying I think the Saints are one and done. We both been on wax saying that.
I wasn't expecting them to get this draw.
I was saying the same thing
I wasn't expecting them to get this draw, so
I think that,
I was expecting them to get like Arizona, or get a bye and then have to play like Tampa in the second round, something like that. I wasn't expecting.
All right, well, let's analyze it. Keys to this game. My key for the Bears, 2 keys. Oh, shoot, it's a couple keys. Shoot. First, David Montgomery has to play big. David Montgomery has to play big. Khalil Mack, you're $100 million man, right? You're a second team All Pro. How? I don't know, because it's just off a name. It has to just be off name. But you need to go live up to that. You need to go do that. That guy can't even move. He can't move, Khalil Mack. You gotta go get that guy. And then the biggest key to me is Mitchell Trubisky. Mitch, go do your thing. Go do your thing, Mitch. They benched you for Nick Foles. They don't want you. Matt Nagy don't want you. Go audition. Go do your thing. I think the biggest key is Mitchell Trubisky.
For the Bears, definitely Mitchell Trubisky. Um, I want to say David Montgomery. Like I'm like that the run game all of a sudden having a resurgence. It was just as important and key as Mitchell Trubisky getting back under center. So I think the combination of those two, they have to play big. Because again, I'm not convinced that the Saints defense is as good as it looked at times. I think it can be vulnerable. And I'm gonna trust the Bears defense. I'm gonna trust it. I know they're gonna be down a couple of corners, but they're gonna that pass rush that front seven should be good enough to keep them in this football game. Can Mitchell Trubisky make the throws, even if it's a throwaway? Can he make the right decisions to win this football game? Because I think the Saints is going to give them opportunities. I don't think they're going to get blown out. With their defense, they shouldn't get blown out.
So, with your case that you just made, right? Saints are one and done. Give me the Bears in this game because they have momentum. Listen, they was in a tough fight last week against the Packers, who I thought they was going to win that game. They just made a couple of errors. Aaron Rodgers took advantage of that, but that's Aaron Rodgers. It's a Lambeau. This is Drew Brees. And I know it's Drew Brees. I'm not knocking Drew Brees. But Drew Brees is not Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career. And he got broken ribs. I know it's going to be in the dome. I know it is. We've seen them lose the last couple of seasons.
Oh, man. Give me the Saints, man. I can't see Drew Brees losing to Mitchell Trubisky, even though he did lose to Kirk Cousins. So
it might not be Drew. Yeah, I mean, okay,
it's gonna be Drew. Now, if he get knocked out, where do they go? That's the question. If he gets knocked out, where do they go?
Man.
But I think as long as he got a few of his weapons, he'll be fine.
Yeah,
as long as he had a few of them, I'm not sure which few he's gonna have. Really not sure about that. I'm not sure which few he's gonna have because I think there's a couple of guys out in New Orleans, right?
Alvin had Mike will be back. Alvin has been doing practice through virtual, so they said he has a chance to play Sunday. Sunday, which I think he plays. I think Drew will have a full complement.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think he have a full. I think he'll be full go.
Yeah, if everybody plays, Saints win.
Yeah, that's the biggest line. 10. I just think, man. I think Mitch goes out there, man, and say, "You like that?"
Kirk Cousins crazy.
I think he had a Kirk Cousins type movement, man, and I wouldn't re-sign with the Bears.
But this is the thing, though. I mean, this would be crazy. This would be what the Saints do, right?
Yeah.
Blow a game at home, right?
Yeah.
The last 3-4 years, didn't Nick go in there and win?
They lost last year at home. They lost at Minneapolis the year before. Actually, the year before that, they did lose to the Rams at home. And then the year before, they lost to Minneapolis. So like you said, this is one of the things, this is what the Rams do. This is what, not the Rams, this is what the Saints do. So
come on, Drew. You got one more in you.
And I think this is Drew last year. So maybe try to get it, Drew.
Yeah, you better have one more in it.
So Bears, Browns, Steelers, nightcap game. Keys, easy. The key for me, twofold. Again, this is threefold too. You know what I mean? Baker, don't turn the ball over. It's not Kevin Stefanski calling the plays. It's the special team coordinator calling the plays on Sunday. Don't get too Don't be out there auditioning. Just run the ball. Just run the ball. Don't be out there auditioning for no job, no gig. Just run the ball. Get the ball to those two monsters. Actually, what you should do, I'm gonna give you some notes. Watch the Ravens Titans game on earlier that day. Watch what they do. They will run the heck out of the ball. They're gonna give it to their horses around like 40 times. You have two horses. If I got to, both of them have 30 touches apiece. Both of them. Listen, I might treat this like how Army Navy be doing. That's what I might do with the Browns. It might be like an Army Navy type game. We're gonna throw the ball probably 5 times. Like we're gonna throw the ball only if we got to. I'm giving it to them all game. And Myles Garrett, I need to see you. I need to see you. I need to see you show up. I need to see you show up, Myles Garrett.
For the Browns, Baker's gonna have to make a couple of plays. Can he make a couple of plays to win the game? That's it. I think they're gonna be with a. I'm not gonna say he's a novice, but I'm pretty sure he's a novice at least at the NFL level of, what I mean, they call him plays. I'm not sure he's not done that too many times. So it's gonna be probably a real vanilla game plan. So stick to it. But Baker, you're gonna have to probably make a couple of throws to win in Pittsburgh.
I hope not. But listen, Baker been balling for the past couple of weeks, so I ain't gonna say I hope not. Yeah, but their bread is that running game. The Steelers, I don't know what the key is for the Steelers.
I know what it is for me.
I don't know what the key is for the Steelers. They can't run the ball. The key for me is you're gonna have to stop that run game. You can't stop that run game. It's gonna be a long night for them. You can't stop that run game. It's gonna be a long night for the Steelers.
For me, it's Juju. Juju, he gotta be a number one. He's got to start showing that he's a number one that everybody thought he was when everybody was saying that they had 2 number ones with him and AB. That's what everybody was saying. Steelers got 2 number ones. Oh, you can let AB go. You ain't got to worry about AB. You got Juju. He hasn't showed up since AB departed. He's got to show up sometime. He's gonna have to make some plays. Ben isn't gonna do it. They're not gonna. The Steelers can't run the football. I don't know. That doesn't even sound right when you say it. It really doesn't even. It feels weird coming out of my mouth. The Steelers can't run the football, but they can't. Juju's gonna have to make some plays. He's gonna have to turn a 6-7 yard slant, 5-yard hit. He has to turn that into a 45-yard touchdown. He's gonna have to make some big plays because that is who he is supposed to be. That's how the Steelers win that game tomorrow.
Give you one more. Chase when you one-on-one. Chase when you one-on-one. I got the Browns winning the game. The Browns win the game. Listen, that's another thing we said. I think the Steelers one and done. Again, we didn't think they was gonna get this draw, but
I was hoping they got this draw.
Okay.
And I'm taking the Browns too. I'm picking the Browns to beat the Steelers because my key is Juju, and I don't think he is who we thought he was. And I hate to say this, but I'm starting to believe in Baker and who he is as this guy. He's not a gunslinger. He's not that type of. He's not going to be successful at the NFL level, being who he was in college. That's not the recipe for success for him at the NFL. He can't be that guy. Who he has been, taking care of the football, making the throws that the defense gives him. not forcing the ball downfield unless it's absolutely there off play action. That he's been really good being, I guess if you want to say a game manager, he's been really good at it. They're not asking him to do too much. They're asking him to do enough to win football games, and I think he continues to do that.
I agree with you. Baker, I said Baker's one of my keys, and I agree. I do think that Baker is one of the reasons why I do think that they'll win this game, because I don't think he'll make a mistake. And the Steelers going to need you to make a mistake in order to beat you. And I don't think that he will. That's the question I got for you, right? I don't know if you saw Todd McShay. Well, actually, I got two things. But I don't know if you saw Todd McShay's mock, but he has Trevor Lawrence as the number one quarterback, but then he has Zach Wilson jumping ahead of Justin Fields. I think you said it. I think you said Zach might be the best quarterback in this draft.
Yeah. I do believe I believe he's going to be the best NFL quarterback in this draft class. He's going to have the best career of any of the quarterback in this draft. I think he has all the tools. And what I love is that Justin is still going out and competing. So he can still make a case for himself. Everybody else is done.
Mm-hmm.
Justin going to play on Monday night. So he still has an opportunity to change everybody else's mind as far as his draft status is concerned. But I don't think he's going to change anybody's mind as far as if he's that much better than either one of those guys. Now, his athleticism is the dynamic raw talent that he is, cool. But you can tell that he's still going to be a project at the next level. You can tell that he's still going to be a project at the next level. But his athleticism is going to cover up a lot of his mistakes. But I think he's going to be real talented, and he's going to he got a big test on Monday. So,
agree with you. You know me on wax, like I said, if he has a big game Monday, I think people should think about considering taking him with the number one pick, just based off of what the league is trending, and what he is showing. But like I said, I do like Zach Wilson. The interesting thing about it, the reason I asked about the intrigue, right, and I want to bring it up, is because they got him penciled in going to Atlanta to take over for Matt Ryan. But for me, I'm gonna tell you, if they get Zach Wilson, I would keep Julio. A vet that he can go to with those weapons. I know Calvin the monster, but I would probably lean to keep Julio, which is why I think then that job becomes a trap, real trap.
I still say it depends on who's coaching the Jaguars. Like if Urban is the coach of Jacksonville, does he take Trevor or does he take Justin, who was his guy? I mean, like he helped bring him into Ohio State after he left Georgia. So like, I don't know. It's gonna. I think it's gonna come down to who's the coach of the Jaguars. Because we also heard Day's name brought up in that. So I think it's gonna come down to that. Because I don't think from what we've seen from them on tape in college that Zach and Justin have separated themselves from one another. And I don't think that people put them in the same class as Trevor as far as a prospect is concerned. They don't check all the boxes like Trevor does.
All right, so I got two more things before we get to this college football pick, right? Because this is intriguing. If Justin goes first, it's gonna get real interesting from there. Because I think Justin goes first, then I think Trevor goes second. People will fight tooth and nail to get Zach. It's where I think things will get interesting, and I think you'll start to see a bevy of teams trying to jump up to that number 3 spot to get Zach Wilson. I think we can see quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3 if Justin goes first. Shoot, we might see quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3 if Trevor goes first.
I think Peyton's gonna go. I think the quarterback's gonna go 1, 2, 3 regardless. But it really depends on Justin's performance on Monday. What's the last taste he's gonna leave in everybody's mouth? He doesn't even have to win. But he just has to perform well.
Yeah, he has to have another. He has to have another go slay the giant type game for me. Not like I said, not saying he has to win, but he has to perform. He has to go out there and leave it all out there. Because again, people are disrespecting people off that performance he got knocked down. They had Zach Wilson jump out of him, even off the performance he had. So he got to go out there and do his thing. It makes me think about this question, right? What if Matt Jones go out here and light it up? Can he put his name in to that as that 4th quarterback?
I always say it depends on the team. Like I can't say like he's definitely should be a first rounder because of the draft class that he's in. Like if he wasn't in this draft class, he probably would be a clear cut first rounder. But when in this draft class, he might be a 2nd or a 3rd rounder. So I don't think with the numbers in the games that he's had, I don't think he's gonna change anybody's opinion of him, especially against that Ohio State defense that hasn't been that good. So I don't think it's gonna change anybody's opinion on him to make his stock go up or down. I don't think his stock could go down either unless he's absolutely just terrible, which I doubt. But there's a lot of teams out there that need a quarterback. So if he's got a 1st round grade and you need a quarterback, take him. Take him. If he's your guy, take him. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 5 or 6 quarterbacks taken in the 1st round.
Wow, that'd be interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised.
This is what I'm gonna say. If I'm Mac, I don't declare. I would do a Matt Barkley. It hurt Matt Barkley, but I don't think
it's gonna hurt him.
I don't think you think it hurt Mac.
Yep. I don't see a situation where his stock will rise. Think about it. What more can he do? What you just said, though. What you just said. This is a quarterback heavy class. Oh, and it's going to continue to be that. It's going to continue to be that way. Like
next year, the clear cut to me it'll probably be Sam. But after that, I think if Matt have a great and shoot, it might not even be Sam. Let's say Matt go out here and have a Joe Burrow type season.
Didn't he have one this year?
He put up 60. He did. Listen, he did have a monster season. He did. But he going up against Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. There's another quarterback in there probably. Like, it's a lot of quarterbacks that's coming out this year. Shoot, Kellen Mond just entered the draft.
I do not disagree, but you go when I'm always a big fan of going when you're hot.
When you're hot, I got it. I got you.
Going when you're hot. Do not give an opportunity for a Kyle Trask type of guy coming, not necessarily out of nowhere, but coming to spoil the party, and then you falling in the draft.
And I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. What's gonna be crazy about it? Mac wasn't even supposed to be the starter this year, right? He just won the job, beating their top guy, the top 5-star recruit at quarterback. What would it say? What if he loses a job this next year?
Yeah, you go when you're hot, man. I'm just a big advocate going when you're hot, not even taking that opportunity or that chance to miss out.
If he's legit gonna be a first rounder, well, yeah, I'm with you. Because I think he'll get drafted next year as well.
I think he's gonna get drafted regardless in the second or third round.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. Listen. I would go back, win another national or win a national championship. If he loses this game, go back, try to win a national championship. Right, have your stock rise, and then maybe be the number one overall pick. Maybe become Joe Burrow, or you come out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah, come on now, Mac.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. All right, that's just this national championship game. All right, I'm gonna give you some keys real quick. My key to Ohio State winning this game. I think you said it. I'm gonna piggyback on it. Trey Sermon. I think Justin Fields does have a big game. I think he needs to be big, but Trey Sermon needs to be big. Trey Sermon needs to control the game, play action, stuff like that. And Chris Olave, I think he needs to be huge as well. So those are my 3 keys. Control the game with Trey Sermon. No turnovers for Justin Fields, but he turned the ball over against them. They gonna score. Chris Olave needs to be big. He need to look at the other guy that's playing on the other side and say, I need to try to cancel him out.
In order for Ohio State to win this game, Justin Fields got to be Johnny Football, Deshaun Watson. He's got to have one of those type of performances where he's the best player on the field. He's got to be the best player on the field in order for them to win. Their defense is not going to be able to keep Alabama from scoring points, which means they're going to have to score points, and it's going to be all on Justin Fields. Justin Fields has to be the best player on the football field in order for Ohio State to win.
I agree. I agree with you sort of way because I guess I think Trey Sermon going to have to be huge as well. Alabama, the key for them, just get the ball to your playmakers. Get the ball to number 6. Get the ball to Najee. Get the ball to them, which y'all will. I think that's the key. Get the ball to those guys, and you win the game. Which is pains me to say it because I want Justin Fields to win because I think they disrespecting that man. I want Ohio State to win. I'm rooting for Ohio State, but I'm with you. I just think that Alabama's a monster. It's a monster team.
For Alabama, for me, can they contain Justin Fields? One. And they always have this special teams miscue or a big special teams play, whether it's what was it, Kenyon Drake having a big kickoff return in the national championship game, which was the difference in the game. Like something like that. I think they had against the 1 year against Clemson, they had the fake punt that helped to win the game. Like they special teams, some Nick Saban's gonna have some sort of special teams play or moment. Alabama's gonna have something on special teams that's gonna make a difference in the game if it's close. And the only way it's close is if Justin Fields is going nuts. That's it. If Justin Fields is not going nuts, Alabama routes Ohio State. And given the way Ohio State has performed, this could be a route.
Could be.
And this is what the Big Ten, this is what Ohio State, the Big Ten, they do more times than not on the big stage. You know, I'll never forget Florida just absolutely embarrassing Ohio State in the national championship that time. You know, like after Ohio State was number one pretty much all year long. So it's a Justin Fields moment on Monday night.
Yeah, Justin Fields got to be Vince Young. That's how I look at it. You got to be Vince Young. You got to have a Vince Young as Herculean type game. But I also think Trey Sermon also contributes to that game. I think he is the most important person on the Ohio State team. I think Justin Fields needs the ball, but I think that they need to learn. They need to keep that offense on the sideline as long as you. That's how. Because they're going to score, like you said. They're going to score. They're going to roll the book it. They're going to roll out of bed and give you 24. They're going to give you 24.
So, yeah, I expect this game to be played in the upper 30s, mid 40s.
So, I'm with you. That's our show for the day. Final thoughts. My final thoughts. I've been thinking about this thing all week since it happened. Since they both happened back to back, right? Since the officers got acquitted. I mean, didn't get charged for killing Jacob Blake, and then with the people storming the Capitol. My final thought on it is, people keep saying like, change is coming, change is coming, change is coming with the new regime. The new regime, change is coming. And that's why people are so mad. That's why people are so outraged or something like that, or whatever. I think that my final thought is, stop getting Walter. That's what it is, because we're gonna say, okay, Joe come in, Kamala's here, everything's gonna be great everything's looking up for us, Black community. But I feel though that they do this to us all the time. They're gonna give us something, walls asleep, get us back in their good graces. Hey, we got Joe, we got Kamala, we're good. I rose the other day. Gotta keep fighting. Have to keep fighting. Have to. You can't get bored of sleep. Keep fighting, keep putting pressure on, keep making changes, because again, no matter who's in that office, and you talk about it on Wednesday. Only time I'm gonna change for us is when we make change. People keep talking about this word white privilege, and I looked at the word privilege the other day, and I was just like, man, privilege is something granted or given, right? I was to say, well, in order for privilege to happen for us, we got to take it, just like they did. They took it, and now they're in a position to give and to have privileges. We as a people also have to do the same thing. We have to, if we want privileges and we want rights, stuff like that, we have to take it. We can't wait for things to be given to us. We got to go out there and we have to take it. That's my final thought.
Agree with you, bro. My final thought is make sure you know who you follow. A lot of times we get caught up in the glitz and the glamour of people, and we get caught up into to people's gifts, and we don't know their flaws. And then when their flaws are exposed, we can't handle it, and we give up on them. So know who it is that we're following before we start following. Do your research on people, and you know, try the spirit to make sure that it's true. So that's my final thought.
Good final thought, bro. Good, good. That's a great final thought. Hey, listen, that's our show for the day, man. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you go subscribe to our channel. Like I said, follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, or all our platforms on the link tree. Tell a friend. But again, if you want to be on any of our shows, make sure you hit us up to talk to us about sports, um, cultural, anything that's important. Anything that's important to you. Like I said, our motto this year is going to be: we're going to speak up about it. We're going to speak out about it. We're going to speak on it. Anything that we feel as though that needs to be discussed, we coming at y'all with it. So make sure that y'all can come at us with as well, hold us accountable. And again, come join the show. Come talk to us about it. But till next time, y'all, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Be going.
Peace.